Thanks for tuning in to Quillbilly Garage, where we play around with old cars, old trucks, vintage toys, whatever sounds interesting to us at the time, but mostly old cars and trucks. What we're working on today is this 1963 Ford Galaxie 500 convertible. You may have seen this before if you watch my channel. Earlier, actually it was summer of 2024, so less than a year ago, we were pulling this car out of a garage that was about to fall in on it, rescuing it from there. So today we're going to try and start it up. And what I've done, by the way, this car has the 289 engine. I didn't realize that they had 289s as early as 63, but they did. What I've done so far, I never like to crank over an engine that has been sitting for years. So we pulled all the plugs and put a little oil in the cylinders, let it sit for a few days. And then I gently cranked it over by hand with the plugs back out. And then stuck a battery in it, hit the key, and it cranked over great. So we've cleaned up the plugs, put them back in. I pulled the cap off, looked at the points, filed the points, checked for spark, didn't have it, filed them some more, and now we seem to have good spark at the points. So now we're going to just, normally I'd hook up a external gas can to be ready with fresh fuel, but this time I'm just going to keep it simple and pour a little gas in the carb and see if it'll fire. And if it fires, well, we'll get back to it and hook up a can. I don't have a helper with me today, so I can't do everything on film. So what I've done here is I popped the top off the air cleaner and poured a little gas down it. And now we're going to crank it, see if it'll start. One thing nice about these old Galaxies, I can stand up and just the key's right here by the door. So let's see what happens. Oops, there we go. It fired. Let's see if there's enough gas in there to do anything. Okay, gonna put a little more gas in it. Well, I rounded up some help. So I'm gonna hit the key while I mess with actuate the throttle down here. All right, hit it. Again. Okay, cut. Well, I think that's enough to know that it's worth hooking up a gas can. It's gonna run here. So off camera, we'll get a gas can set up. Probably wait till morning. It's getting kind of dark out here this evening. It's a new day here. We've got sunlight on our side. It's not raining yet. It is quite windy, so I apologize for any noise interference that might cause. You heard me fire this up last night with gas poured down the carburetor, ran for a few seconds, if that. So now we are going to set it up so we can run for a more sustained period of time. I have pulled the fuel line off the inlet to the fuel pump, and I've connected this other line going out to this outboard motor gas tank filled with ethanol-free gas. I have already pumped the primer bulb to get gas up to the carburetor. One thing I didn't mention earlier, I touched on it, that we had rescued this car from a garage where it had been sitting for years. But more specifically, this car was last licensed in 1995. I believe it was sitting in the garage ever since then, and I highly doubt that it was ever started up since then. So this represents the first time running in 30 years. I don't have a helper with me this morning, so I'll have to do a little bit off camera. My next step here, I'm going to turn off the camera, pour a little gas down the carburetor to prime that. Then I will turn the camera back on, and we'll see if it'll start up and run for a while. We are now ready to give it a shot. I say we, there's just one of me today. And it died. A little tricky only having one person here. Maybe a couple more pumps of the primer bulb. Yeah, more than a couple. Got a little valve train noise. I might see if I can run a little automatic transmission fluid or something to free up those. Hopefully that's just stuck lifters that we can free up. Well, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Quillbilly Garage. That was a success. To be honest, I was skeptical if this car was going to start up. I was surprised that the engine wasn't seized up. So stay tuned for more episodes. I hope to do another one on this car once we get it all cleaned up. Thank you for watching. Till next time, enjoy.